What a crazy NFL regular season this has been, and we've got just 2 weeks left to go. Where does the time go? It's time to make our confidence picks for week 17. Let's do it. And welcome back to New York Sports WickerMedia. I'm Watsu-K99. Thank you, as always, for taking the time to watch these videos. If you've been here before, thank you so much for giving me a little bit of support. And if you're brand new, welcome. And let's talk about our picks for Week 17. Now, what we do every week, we pick the winner of every game in the NFL, or who we think is going to win. We don't pick against the spreads. You know what we do. We pick winners. And then we're going to rate all of them from 16, the game we have the most confidence in, to 1 point, the game we have the least confidence in. So before we do that, let's take a look at how we did last week and where we stand for the season. So last week did a little bit better than before, went 10-6. In Week 16, out of a possible 136 points, we got 94 correct. For the season, that gives us a record of 155 wins to 83 losses. And out of 1,796 possible points, we have 1,274. That is good enough for the 93.8 percentile bracket, up nearly a full percentage point from last week. So, hey, I got to keep that win streak going. I want to keep moving up in that bracket. I want to get maybe back up to 95. We were as high as 97 just a couple of weeks ago. So, hey, let's see how much higher we can get it. All right, so let's start picking some games. So I'm going to start with number 16, the game I have the most confidence in, and I think it might be the game that you out there might have the most confidence in as well. The Denver Broncos at the Kansas City Chiefs. You know it's bad when Patrick from SpongeBob SquarePants roasts your team on Christmas Day. Okay, and that is exactly what happened on Christmas when Denver got whooped by the Rams. Kansas City has won 14 straight games against Denver. Nathaniel Hackett has now been fired. I don't want to hear about the fired coach boost or any theory like that. This is not a contest. Kansas City wins. Number 15, the Battle of the Bay. The San Francisco 49ers. It used to be the Battle of the Bay, and in a way, I think it always will be. The Niners against the Raiders. It's so strange. Brock Purdy has passed for 2 touchdowns or more in 4 straight games. Who's quarterbacking the Raiders now? It's Jarrett Stidham. And as Jets fans, we know he was the one quarterback who can make the Jets defense actually look competent 2 years ago when he threw a pick 6 to Jamal Adams. And now he's got to face the best defense in football. Not fair. Niners all day. Number 14 is going to be the Thursday night game, the Dallas Cowboys at the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Titans are on a 5-game losing streak, and they have a -5 turnover ratio during that skid. Now, Ryan Tannehill is on IR. He's out of the picture. The passing offense has been very limited. And, in fact, the Titans have so little confidence in Malik Willis that they're playing Josh Dobbs at quarterback tonight. I know Frankie from Flatbush is going to be a little extra excited about that. But then you throw in no Derrick Henry for the Titans, no Jeffrey Simmons on defense. I've been telling you for 2 months, in the first round of the NFC playoffs, you're going to have the Bucs at the 4 and the Cowboys at the 5. This game is just going to reinforce it as the Cowboys take one step closer to that top wild card spot in the NFC. I'll go with the boys. Number 13, the Indianapolis Colts at the New York Giants. From MetLife Stadium, give me the Giants in this game. Saquon Barkley, after a rough stretch in the middle of the season, has turned it around. He's averaging 5.3 yards per carry the last 2 weeks, and I expect him to have a good game against the Colts defense coming off a short week. And as much as I like, respect, and appreciate Nick Foles, oh boy, the highest paid offensive line in football let him get sacked 7 times and allowed enough pressure to where he threw 3 interceptions. Giants clinch a playoff spot. Number 12, to the NFC North Division, the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions. The Bears are going to try to break a 9-game losing streak. Detroit needs to win out. Hot as they've been, they got to win out to have a chance to make the playoffs. And just when the Lions defense looked like it might be able to, pat their head and rub their stomach at the same time, well, they allowed the Panthers to put up a franchise record 570 yards on that defense. They got their dose of humble pie. They turned it around. They beat the Bears at home. Number 11, the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. I think it's going to be a tight game. The Texans just keep giving good teams battles. I like that the Jags have extra rest. Even if they're looking ahead to the Tennessee game, I think they have enough to take this one. I think Travis Etienne and Evan Ingram in particular have big games. All right, let's go to number 10. The Carolina Panthers at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Every single part of me, it's pulling on the strings of my heart to pull for Carolina in this game. You know, Tom Brady, the most overrated of all time, has thrown 2 interceptions in each of the last 3 weeks. The Panthers beat the Buccaneers 21-3 back in week 7. And in that game, the Panthers rushed for 173 yards. They're coming off 320 yards rushing against the Lions. In fact, in these teams' last 4 games, Tampa Bay has 11 turnovers. Carolina has 1. I just can't pick against Tampa Bay. As much as I want to, I think maybe it's because they're at home, because I respect their defense too much. But, you know, what I would get for Sam Darnold to knock Tom Brady off would be beautiful. Number 9, the New Orleans Saints at the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't think this is the blowout some people think it's going to be. Andy Dalton has taken just 5 sacks in the last 4 weeks, so the Eagles' pass rush is going to have to be on. I say Philadelphia cleans up the turnovers from last week and clinches home field throughout the NFC playoffs, and the Saints go marching out. Number 8, the LA Rams at the LA Chargers of San Diego. This is somehow the Battle of Los Angeles. So, hey, I guess it's basically Cleveland versus San Diego when you get right down to it. You know what? Baker Mayfield has played very well in his 2 starts at SoFi Stadium. He's averaging 230 yards with 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. You know what? The Chargers have clinched their playoff spot. Congratulations to them. They have a tendency to play down to their opponents at times, and I think the Rams get a little bit of a win for pride. So give me the Rams in an upset. Number 7, the Steelers at the Ravens. A weird game to flex for Sunday night. Definitely one of the best rivalries in all of professional football. You know, here's an interesting stat. Mike Tomlin, Steelers coach, has never finished with a losing season in his 15 years as the Steelers head coach. And for that streak to stay alive, Pittsburgh's going to have to win their last 2 games. I don't think they're going to do it. I pick Baltimore in a low-scoring game with a late Justin Tucker field goal. The number 6 game in one of the most irrelevant games you could possibly imagine. Even if you have a fantasy championship on the line, I don't know why you would have any of these 2 particular teams' players. The Arizona Cardinals at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm taking the Falcons in this game. You got 2 teams limping down the stretch. Atlanta's averaging just 14 points per game in a 4-game losing streak. Desmond Ridder is definitely having his rookie growing pains, but I think this could be a decent week for him. Arizona is averaging just 15 points per game in a 5-game losing streak, and Arizona's got to fly across the country to play a game that I don't think they're really going to want to play. So I'm going to take Atlanta in an ugly, close game. Okay, number 5, this is it. I'm going to go with the New York Jets at the Seattle Seahawks. And for the first time in, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, I'm picking the Jets to win this game. Seattle is 3-4 at home. I am not a fan of this Seahawks defense. You know, even the best player, Tariq Woolen, he still allows a lot of touchdowns. He still takes a lot of penalties. He allows 15 yards per reception. You know, the Seahawks are not that great at stopping the run or rushing the passer. I think this is going to be a game where the Jets are not going to explode on offense, but they'll put up enough points where the defense doesn't have to win the game by themselves. That said, I think the defense is going to run over the Seattle offensive line, which has really been struggling as of late. I predict at least 4 sacks by the Jets defense. And I'm going to even make one more prediction. And if you watch my bold predictions video, you know what I'm going to say. DJ Reed is going to have his 2nd interception of the year. Jets win and stay alive. Number 4, the Cleveland Browns at the Washington Commuters. Washington has allowed an average of 145 rushing yards per game in the last 4 weeks. What happened to this great Washington defense that we used to talk about? I think even though Cleveland is eliminated, this is going to be a spot where they show a little bit of what they could have been, you know, if Deshaun wasn't suspended for the year. I think between him, Chubb, Hunt, they can really run the ball well on this Washington defense. I'm going to take Cleveland, and a little bit of a surprise. You know, just because a team has something to play for doesn't mean they're always going to win. Number 3, the Minnesota Vikings at the Green Bay Packers. This is going to be a fun one. I wish this could have been flexed. But Green Bay is 15-0 at home under Matt LaFleur in the month of December. If they want to add to that, well, they better find a better defensive game plan against Justin Jefferson. In his first game, he had 184 yards and 2 touchdowns against the Green and Gold. I do believe that while Minnesota will put up their points, Aaron Rodgers will have a field day against the beat-up Vikings defense. Last I'm hearing, Christian Watson will play. I think he's going to have a game on par with Jefferson, and Packers win this game. Okay, number 2, 2 enormous AFC games. The game I have the second least confidence in is the AFC East showdown with the Miami Dolphins at the New England Patriots. The winner of this game controls their destiny in the AFC wildcard race. I think the winner of that game will be the New England Patriots. The Dolphins are 3-5 on the road. They dropped 4 straight. The Patriots are 3-4 at home and have lost 4 of 5. Now, they have won. The Dolphins have 4 in a row. They have a chance to win 5 in a row. It's really not even because of Teddy Bridgewater playing. I just think that the Patriots are going to have one last burst. After losing those last 2 games the way they did, I think that Belichick will have a game plan in mind to take out either Hill or Waddle. I think it'll be a tight one, but the Patriots win in maybe a 3 or 4 point finish on that one. And finally, number 1, probably the marquee game of the week, Monday Night Football. The Buffalo Bills at the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm taking the Bengals to win this game. Joe Burrow just has a way of raising the level of his play against the best quarterbacks. Whether it's Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, he has a way of doing it. Buffalo has lost 2 road games by a combined total of 5 points this season. I definitely think this comes down to the last possession. I think whoever has the ball in their hand last, that team wins. I could see this being maybe a 34-31 type of game, but I'm going to pick the Bengals. I just think they're too hot right now, and also the fact they're at home. I'm going to give them the edge in this game. Okay, those are my picks. I want to hear your picks as well. Do you have any upset picks? Any games you're feeling particularly confident about? Anything that you agree with me on or disagree with me on? I'd love to hear it. Put some something in the comments, and let's have a little chat. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you back here with more content from you know where. The Wicker Chair.